This week on ETalk, Carrie explores the dreaded friend zone and what that means. Virginia and Emily shed some light on the most memorable fails of Sochi 2014. We take a look at successful long-distance college relationships, and our fashion expert Kathleen talks the latest and greatest spring trends fresh off the runway. All that and more, only on ETalk.
Hey everyone, welcome to ETalk, where we bring you everything from LA to Elon. I'm Emily DeVito here with Virginia, Carrie, and Jordan. And before we get started, we have some interesting opinions from our fans on Justin Bieber and what his future holds. Let's take a look.
Well, Justin Bieber's already sold millions and millions of albums, despite my wishes. I'll tell you what, if Justin Bieber moves over to hardcore gangster rap, maybe drop some Slim Shady LP type rap music, I'll be the first one in line to buy a copy. But until he drops the whole fake rugged thing and really gets into the thug life, buys maybe a small project apartment in the projects in maybe downtown New York or something, and really just lives that hardcore lifestyle that he's trying to embody currently, oh, man, I'll tell you what, that is a musical artist that I would love to listen to.
I think that everything that's been happening to Justin Bieber doesn't really affect his image. I personally am not a fan at the moment. I think his partying and subsequent DUI are a little sloppy, but I think so many celebrities have issues like that now, and it only makes them more famous.
All right, so now that we've heard from the fans, where do you guys stand on this topic? Where do you think Justin will Bieber be in the future?
I mean, honestly, who cares? We need to stop giving him so much attention because he's like kind of always in the spotlight. I know he's trying to stay out of it, but like he keeps getting back in it. I just think we need to leave him alone because he loves the attention.
I feel like he's this generation's Aaron Carter. The huge blow up, all the girls loved him for a while, and now no one cares about Aaron Carter anymore. I feel like he's the next one. In 5 years, no one will be talking about it.
Okay, but I feel like Aaron Carter was very innocent. Yes. Justin Bieber, number one, he ruined Selena Gomez, who is my favorite little one of the Disney few. And so that was bad. And he's just like throwing eggs at people's houses. I don't remember Aaron Carter doing that. I feel like he just needs to be ignored.
You know what? I honestly think that he's going to make a comeback. And I kind of, this sounds really weird what I'm going to say, but I can see him as like a Kanye figure for the next generation, almost like one of those, I don't really care what the media has to say about me. I'm going to keep really private and, you know, that's that. And still be very successful.
I can see how that could potentially happen. He has Usher on his side. He has Scooter and like his whole big entourage that he rolls with. And I can see, and they took him to whatever, Panama to straighten him up. That could happen.
Panama. What a
but
great
he's got a long way to go.
I think he's trying to stay low. Another celebrities that have been trying to stay low is Layton and Adam Brody just got married. Did you guys know about that? I was out of the loop. They did a great job kind of covering it up. Their engagement was very private. But what do you guys think? You know, now that the OC and Gossip Girl is over, they're really not that existent anymore. Do you think that's kind of weird how we idolize celebrities so much and then we don't? Like,
you know, I personally think that's a great setup. You know, they have their fame and then we forget about them and allow them to go out and live normal lives. And I think it is sad for someone like Justin Bieber, who isn't allowed to live a normal life. I mean, who now ends up as such a train wreck. I think it's great that Adam and Layton were able to go off and do their own thing.
Yeah, I definitely think, I always love it when celebrities have these private weddings because I feel like it's truly about the love and not about the paparazzi or being a celebrity. So I think that it's really great that they just are kind of doing their own thing now.
And I have to say, you know, they both have been out of the spotlight for a long time, so they could have taken this moment to capitalize on it and been like, let's sell our pictures to people, let's make everyone look at us, and I'll put my wedding dress online. But you know what, they didn't, and I think that's good, but I also think that, you know what, maybe they should have used it as a publicity stunt because they signed up for this when they said, I want to be an actress. You know,
when you're a celebrity, you kind of have a following, you need to keep that up and people look to you.
I mean, like, I feel like if you're not doing anything at the moment, you don't really deserve to be followed. We should be talking about people like Beyonce that are actually doing something really cool and not people that aren't in the spotlight.
Right. Well, all right, you know who doesn't deserve to be in the spotlight is everyday ordinary people. And recently, a San Diego mom got very upset and contacted the Today Show because her husband's wife, her ex-husband, his new wife, was posting pictures of her daughter on Facebook. Now, I know we're all college kids. I'm sure we've babysat. We have nieces, nephews, cousins. do you think it's creepy to post pictures of kids who have no identity on the web, on the internet yet, and we're creating this identity for them on Facebook? Or do you think this mom is being too protective?
Okay, I'm gonna go in the middle. I know that's like, I need to take a stance, but I do understand where she's coming from because it is your child, you're like a mama bear, you wanna protect them, and there are some very sketchy people on the internet.
Right.
But at the same time, it's the internet. You can't really control what everyone does, and you know, once you put your child in someone else's care, you're kind of giving them the okay to not do whatever they want, but you're saying that you trust them, so you should trust their decisions.
See, I'm on the stance where I think she's insane. Like, I think in this day and age, no, I really do. This day and age, everyone's gonna have an online portfolio at some point, and there's no way that you can stop it. And I think if her biological father and his new wife are posting, you know, innocent,
like first day of
harmless
school,
pictures
stuff like
of that girl on Facebook, there's really nothing that the mother can do. I mean, and I think it's not ruining her image by any means. And I'm sure, and Facebook does have privacy settings where, you know, people cannot, just random, you know, pedophiles can't look these girls up.
Right.
So I feel like it's just out of
All right,
control.
and it's not like these pedophiles are not, like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of an extreme to
But
say
anyone
pedophiles.
can find photos.
Right, they can
I mean,
find
they're
her.
online.
But like, I don't know. She's gonna have a million pictures on the internet. But is she never gonna have a Facebook? Like, it's kind of crazy. I think it's creepy if you're babysitting and you're like, oh, I'm gonna upload a picture of a kid I'm babysitting. But if it's your own child or your stepdaughter, you have the right to post a picture.
Right. Yeah. Well, speaking of different image, Mattel's Barbie has really changed her image around. They're starting out this new marketing campaign called #Unapologetic. And their most recent ad is Barbie posing in a swimsuit that ran in the swimsuit Sports Illustrated edition. What do you guys think about that and the message that now Barbie is sending to little girls?
What do you think?
Okay, I'm sorry. When I read the story, it just really got my blood boiling because I just think that Barbie just represents a really unrealistic expectation for young girls. I was looking at an article and someone did research on what Barbie would look like in real life. And if she was a real life person, she would be so skinny that she wouldn't even be able to hold her vital organs. So I mean, to say unapologetic, I know they're trying to be like, oh, be okay with who you are. Right. But I feel like it's kind of like, we don't care that we're pushing this unrealistic expectation on young people.
I think the theme's like kind of extreme. Like unapologetic, that can go anywhere. That can be like, oh, I'm not sorry that I'm like wearing a bikini. But she could have been wearing a bikini. She's wearing a full piece. So we got to give him that credit. One piece bathing suit.
Not saying that I 100% agree with this, but I have looked this up a lot. And a lot of experts are saying that now they're trying to rebrand Barbie as a Rihanna or a Katy Perry figure because girls who are the age of Barbies look up to Rihanna and look up to Katy Perry. And they're going on stage in bathing suits and they're doing the pinwheels on the breasts and everything. So. Like that's what little girls, unfortunately, are seeing.
But they're also seeing they're successful artists. They're doing great things.
But
they're being
what I have to say is that if you're going to blame Sports Illustrated, then blame every fashion magazine because everyone has this image out, and it's not just Sports Illustrated. This just happened to be the 50th anniversary, and Mattel said a response to GMA, and they said the goal of the campaign is to empower fans and to engage and celebrate all that makes them who they are. Right. And you know what, some people just see a bikini and they go, oh my God, my daughter is being exposed to this.
Also, young girls who are playing with Barbies aren't reading Sports Illustrated, so they're not even
Very true, very true. Well, this is definitely a topic where lots of people are kind of, you know, having mixed emotions on. And another one is NBC's Kristen Cooper. She recently did an interview at the Olympics where she interviewed Bodie Miller, whose brother actually just passed away. And she kind of kept pushing for him until he eventually started crying during the interview. A lot of people think that she went too far. Some say that it's her job. What do you guys think?
I personally felt really bad for him. I mean, I don't think it was an appropriate interview setting. He literally was at an event. I understand if you want to have a sit-down interview at the end of the Olympics, talk about the overall thing, what happened throughout the stages, what happened with your brother, etc. But it just wasn't appropriate, and it could have been a good interview question, but I think wrong place, wrong time.
See, I disagree. I think it was such a raw moment, and that's her job. She's there to ask those questions that everyone wants to know, and everyone knew his story, and they wanted to know what's up with his brother. And he even tweeted out later, he said it was crazy emotional and not at all her fault. You know, it was an emotional time, but she was just doing her job. She was pushing the questions, and I think she was helping him out because I don't think he knew what to say. I think he was so emotional and flustered. I think she wanted to help him form some words, say something. And I think she kind of thought her questions might get him there.
See, I kind of disagree. I think the reporter's role after an event like that, they've come right out of their event, something they've been working for so long, that should be a celebratory moment about that moment. And I think what you
agree.
said,
Right.
a talk show later to talk about that would have been better.
Well, hopefully we'll keep up with the Olympics and everything else will go well. But up next, Jordan will talk to our guests, Courtney and Kathleen, about how they make their long-distance relationships work.
I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more. You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back. Valentine's Day just passed, and with that comes many emotions. For couples in a relationship, it is a day of being together and celebrating one another. However, not all couples are so lucky. Today I have with me Courtney and Kathleen, who are both in long-distance relationships. So how are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good, very
Thank
good.
you so much for being with us. So first off, where are your significant others?
Well, I'm from Chicago, so he's all the way up in Illinois, like way northern Illinois. It's about 1,000 miles away.
Jeez,
Pretty
okay.
far.
Yeah, very far. What about you?
He's in New York City.
Oh, okay. So also far away.
Yeah.
So a couple of hours of driving separate you guys.
Don't do
Yeah.
that.
So how do you guys handle that? Just off the bat, what do you guys do to keep the spark alive?
I think there are a lot of different things that you can do. For one thing, we write love notes to each other every week. We send them back and forth. It's really cute. And also, he visits whenever he can. So he was just down here last week, and he usually visits for a good chunk of time since his schedule is really different from Elon's. So he'll come down for about 2 weeks at a time, at least once a year. And then when I go home, we're both from the same place, so I see him the whole time I'm home.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, we FaceTime basically every day, and we're doing a lot of things to make it seem like we're doing things together, even though we're apart. Like, we're reading a book together, so when we see each other next, we're going to discuss it and stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
and
That's
we're like
adorable.
on a lot of weird social media sites, sort of like Goodreads, and there's something called Photocracy, and we like comment on each other's stuff. And we both have like athletic bands, so we can see how many steps each other is taking in that kind of stuff.
wait,
Yeah.
that's so
cute.
cute.
I mean, technology really helps a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
totally helps a lot.
I heard about this very interesting, okay, well, I don't know if anyone would ever get this, but it's this pillow, and you can like hug it at night, and if your significant other is hugging it, then it like lights up. So I
totally saw that. So for Valentine's Day, I got something, they're like couple pillows. So he has one and I have the other and they go together. So that was like the next best thing I could find.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I feel like you have to be very creative
Yeah.
when you're in a long distance relationship, because when I went abroad, I was in one, and we ended up opening up a Tumblr site where we'd kind of like write love letters to each other and repost different things that other couples in long distance relationships were in. So I really feel like there's a community of people in these LDRs, as they're called. So do you guys follow any sites to help you all with your relationships?
I actually don't follow any sites in particular, but I'll go on Pinterest and look under, love or quotes or something, and they have a lot. You're right. A lot of people are in the same situation as us, so they post, helpful quotes and then or pictures, and I'll send them to him, and just like what Courtney was saying, the FaceTime thing, like all the technology, following each other on websites and commenting on Facebook or liking or. We text constantly. Our whole every day we're text. It's like one conversation. It never ends. We're just constantly texting. So that helps.
That's really nice.
Yeah. And you can also find a ton of cool ideas. We're planning on doing like a FaceTime date for our, 15-month anniversary. So that's fun. And
Okay, so what I've learned from this, unfortunately we have to go, but from what I've learned, you have to be very, very creative, and you really have to just understand and communicate with each other.
Yeah,
so
communication is always key.
Yeah.
No matter what
Yes.
relationship you're in, honestly, you know.
but especially with long distance.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
And
so much for
trust.
sharing with us. I wish you all the best. You shared some great tips with us. Next up, Virginia and Emily will take us to the Sochi Olympics.
Ever wonder what makes us, the Smurfs, so happy? The forest, of course. This is where we, along with the beautiful forest creatures, make our home with beautiful plant life, clean water, and endless adventures. It's a place to celebrate. So discover the forest with your family today. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Every 4 years, the world tunes in to see the greatest athletes do what they do best. People don't always realize everything that goes on behind the scenes of the competition. But this year, that seems to be all that people can focus on. The media has deemed this phenomenon Sochi fails. Emily, what has been some of your most memorable Sochi fails?
Yeah, it's been a rough Olympics, I feel like, this year a little bit. But one of the things I was just reading about in the New York Times is a salt shortage. Now, what happened was Hans Pierre, who's, I guess, a snow and salt expert from Switzerland, he used to ski, and he told the Olympics, he goes, you have to get more than 19 tons of salt. And they didn't listen. That is a lot.
Yeah.
And they were already spending $50 billion on this Olympics. $50 billion. They're already a little over budget, so they ignored it. And alpine skiing needs it. And with the weather conditions, it was necessary, or else they were going to cancel events. So, you know, it's just another thing. It's little things like that that you see going wrong that could have been prevented.
Right, because they didn't end up getting the amount that was
Right,
suggested,
and they
right?
eventually flew it in and all got solved, but probably at a more costly.
Took longer to actually make happen.
Exactly.
Obviously, weather's not their fault, but if someone's giving suggestions,
but to me,
might
it's
be
like
beneficial.
they told you why, you know. And this is, I understand that this is their first time, but it's everyone's first time. You know what I mean?
And it is hard to completely prepare. But,
Exactly.
Another thing that was kind of unexpected was there's been a ton of dogs all around Sochi running into the ceremonies, which is very dangerous. Walking the street. So there's been a lot of interaction. Some's been positive. Some of the athletes have adopted some of the dogs.
I have seen
But the
that.
government is also threatening to kill some of the dogs out there, which is really, really a problem. Really upsetting that that had to happen during the Olympics. Another thing that kind of should have been taken care of before. And something that just came out today, a wolf was actually spotted wandering one of the hotels. So it's like really not that safe.
It's random things like that. And you know, it makes me upset because I feel like it takes away from the athletes and this is their glory moment. And you know, how often do they have this opportunity to be here in the spotlight? This is their career highlight.
Exactly.
And for
They could
little
only be there
things,
once.
and for little things like this to be happening, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love seeing the skier, Gus Hensworthy, with his puppy on Instagram. And if you're watching, I am single. So, you know, little things like that, I think it adds character to the Olympics for sure. And
you kind of have to get used to cultural differences and see kind of where that takes you.
So it's hard, but this is the most expensive Olympics. This is where they've spent the most money, $50 billion.
Exactly.
But, you know, you think everything
on the athletes, like they are the best in the world. They deserve to have the best quality things.
And you know what else? I mean, speaking of that, it's not only about the athletes, it's the people that come and support them.
Right.
Especially journalists. Journalists get flown in all the way from the United States, from all over the world to come in, and many of them this year, none of their hotel rooms were ready. There was yellow water. Some hotels didn't have lobbies.
The curtains were falling down.
People said
rooms weren't ready.
They had toilets that said don't flush toilet paper down it.
Right.
You know, it's crazy things like that. And it's hard because they wanted this. They wanted to host the Olympics. And you know, it's just upsetting that nothing went as
Right, I think it's hard because obviously there's so much going into the Olympics and it can be so difficult. But I don't know, I think there is a certain of like prepare that you need to put into this things.
But we are leading in the medal count.
We are leading in the medal count. Go USA.
Yay, so
we have some
excited.
high hopes. But great discussion. We'll see how the rest of the Olympics pan out. But next time you're watching the Olympics in the next couple of weeks, keep an eye out for the more fails and hashtag Elon Sochi fails on our social medias. Keep the conversation going. Up next, Kathleen gives us a rundown on the runway.
Wow, these are really good. You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
It's official, spring is in the air here at Elon. Now that the snow is behind us, our fashion expert, Kathleen, is here to inform us of the most popular warm weather trends and how we can wear them now. So Kathleen, what are we seeing on the runways this week?
Well, Carrie, first of all, we have 6 twin trends that are really big right now. There's crop tops and jackets, floral print, always a favorite,
wow, okay.
Embellished clothing, so things with some hardware on them, sequins, studs, things like that, pastels, they're back and they're here to stay.
Oh my gosh.
Wide leg trousers, and then surprisingly sweatshirts.
Wow. Now,
which
are
I'll
these
talk
all
a
things
little
that
bit more.
you saw in the New York Fashion Week?
Yes, this was not the most recent Fashion Week because that was for the fall.
Okay.
But this was the Fashion Week that happened last fall.
Okay.
So this is
for the spring collection.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is the the trendiest stuff, the stuff that's happening right now. I'm gonna elaborate a little bit on my personal 3 favorite trends, which would be crop tops, florals, and then the sweatshirt trend. So for crop tops, as the first picture is gonna pop up for you guys, you can wear that really classy if you want to.
Yeah, because I always feel like the crop top, I look like I'm really going out and hitting the club.
Yes, and there's definitely a way to make it look more appropriate.
Okay.
Pair it with a high-waisted skirt or a high-waisted pant, something like that.
So you don't have the belly button hanging
Exactly. That whole muffin top section is not attractive.
See, that is why I stay away from the crop top, but
you
want to
capture the part of your body that's right, your torso, is the skinniest part of your entire body. So by using the high-waisted, you want to take advantage of that. And also pairing it with some cute gym shoes or some heels, that kind of like mixes it up a little bit. And another thing that people don't think about with crop tops is you can layer too.
Yes.
So I have, a crop top you can wear over a dress.
Okay. Oh.
I have a picture coming up of a black lace crop top that I wore over a halter top dress. And that really worked out great.
And another thing I've seen with crop tops is that you can wear them as something to the gym. I've seen a lot of workout crop tops as well.
Absolutely,
which is more flattering in like a yoga setting.
Yeah, yoga, they're great. They're kind of universal, and I feel like they're really versatile. They can work in a lot of different ways. And also crop top sweaters too are perfect for layering. That really adds another kind of dimension, adds some color, some texture to your outfit. So moving on to florals. Florals are one of everybody's favorite. They're sweet and they're feminine, and they can be done in the workplace, and they can also be worn just for fun. If you put a blazer over it, then that's awesome for, if you're going into work, then you can take off the blazer for night, wear them with some cute boots, and that makes a great outfit, for people here at Elon. I love girls here like their cowboy boots.
Yeah, well, in terms of florals, like what pieces are the most popular for florals? Is it floral jeans? Are you seeing more floral jackets? Is it dresses? What is the big floral this year?
I'm seeing a lot of floral blazers, actually.
Oh, I would like that.
Yeah, and I think that really, anyone can wear that because everyone has a plain colored dress.
Yeah,
LBD, white,
or
exactly. And this is the perfect way to kind of dress that up.
Oh my
and then
gosh,
if you're feeling a little self-conscious about it later on, you can always take it off.
Right.
If it's not the right,
it's too loud.
Then you can, you're fine. So it's kind of removable. And also floral tops too are pretty in. And skirts. I mean, skirts are always, and people forget about black and white floral.
Right.
That is something, it's floral, but it's not too much. And so if you're going to a more formal event or an interview, it's something that you can still incorporate into your wardrobe without being, like you said, too loud.
All right, now what is your third and final favorite?
So sweatshirts. This is one that's kind of surprising everyone. They can be embellished. They can be silky,
Okay, so
printed.
more of a fashion sweatshirt.
Exactly,
not
like Elon. Yeah,
okay.
like with your logo.
That's not so high fashion, but now I see what you're saying.
Exactly. No hoods, no drawstrings, nothing like that. But definitely wear them with a skirt.
Okay.
I really like, an off-the-shoulder sweatshirt. It's really comfy, cozy. Put it with a pleated skirt and some Converse tennis shoes. That looks really cute, especially for class. Wearing it to class. Wearing it with a pencil skirt can work for work. And I also really like, this is more wintry, but leather leggings and a longer, graphic sweatshirt. I know Philip Lim has some great ones out right now. And so does Jason Ruth. He always does. But that's definitely a way that you can wear it and wear it with shorts.
Well, thank you so much for being with us here today, Kathleen. I know I'm definitely going to take some of these ideas to spruce up my spring wardrobe. Next up, I take the streets of Elon to see what fellow students think about friend zone. Stay tuned. Today's show, Jordan and some of our experts discuss some tips about being in a long-distance relationship. Today, I'm hitting the bricks of the Elon paths, asking students about another type of relationship, the awkward friend zone.
It's the absolute worst. If I could give someone advice, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell them anything. It's probably like the worst position to be in.
I would say you are constantly trying to move the relationship to a new level, to no avail. It is not working and never will.
Oh yeah, I spent a lot of time there. I'm thinking about taking out some real estate, build some property there.
Am I in the friend zone of anyone? I don't think so.
I think there's a lot of guys who I know that, they're like nice guys that would want more, but I'm just like, no, can I just, what's the problem with just being friends with you? And then it's just so awkward because it'll never work out, so you just have to abandon the friendship completely.
Oh wow, abandon the friendship completely.
That's hard.
Honestly, I think it's a lost cause. I think you make your point pretty early. If you're going to be in the friend zone, you're sort of stuck there. And if you're not, you'd already be out.
Do you have any advice for people who are in the friend zone?
I feel like the advice is similar to people, I don't really know. Because it's just, you spend a lot of time there. I guess if you just try to be yourself, accept whether or not it's meant to be or something like that, then if not, move on. Try to salvage a friendship, I guess.
Welcome back. I'm here with our own Jordan Only, who's a student ambassador for Teach for America program. Jordan, tell us a little bit about what you do for TFA and how you even got involved, because I know you're here, you're a communications major. What made you get involved with Teach for America after college?
Well, I actually studied abroad. I went to South Africa for 5 months, and going there, I was like, I'm gonna be on camera. This is what I want to do. And then I met people that completely changed my life. I realized that I really had a passion for human rights advancement. And I think that a quality education is just such a basic human right. And
totally agree.
The problem is that not every student in America is getting that quality education, and it mainly has to do with the amount of money that's coming into their household, to be completely honest.
Right, because property taxes.
Exactly. So I heard about Teach for America, decided to become an intern for them, and I'm actually teaching with them next year and could not be more excited.
So how did you get involved? Like, what was your interview process or application process? And I know that you're an intern with them now and that you've been doing a lot of stuff promoting it on campus. How did you get involved with that so soon?
My friend was actually the student intern last year, and so she took me out to dinner and was like, you will love this. I can see you being an activist when you're older. You should totally get involved. And so then I applied. It was, have to say, the hardest application process I've ever done.
Yes, I've heard there's a lot of, you get up and you teach a class to a whole room of people, and it's very intensive, a lot of rounds.
There are 3 rounds. So the first one, you just submit an application. Second one, you do a phone interview. And then the third one, you like you said, teach a class to other people that are interviewing, which is kind of awkward because you're like, am I better than these people?
Right.
And then you have a one-on-one interview, and then you find out. So it's exciting.
Wow. So do you know where you'll be teaching in the fall?
Yes, I will be in Charlotte teaching middle school math.
That's so exciting.
Yes, not excited about the math part because, broadcast journalism, did that because I don't do numbers.
Right.
But I am
How are you
excited.
going to prepare for that? Like, as you said, you're a broadcast journalism major, and I think Teach for America is awesome, but I've always wondered, you're coming in from a completely different major and you're being plopped down into this classroom.
Yeah, I definitely think that the most important thing that you need to have in this process is passion, because I've been told that this will be the hardest 2 years of my life, but I'm so passionate about the cause that, I'm willing to put forth all that extra effort. So I'm in my second teaching math class here at Elon.
So you're taking courses at Elon to prepare you. And is that something that's required by the program?
It's not required, but I just wanted to do it because I over-prepare for everything. But they also let you, or you're required to take a 5-week training program the summer before you start teaching, where you actually teach others.
Now, after your 2 years with Teach for America, what is your plan afterwards? Are you going to stay in teaching, or how does the program transition you for after?
Yes, I am not sure. I definitely know that I want to work in education in some capacity. So if I absolutely fall in love with teaching, then I'll probably stay in the school system, especially in urban areas. But if I decide that it's not my thing, then I think I definitely want to teach in the work in the nonprofit field.
I think we all learned something new about Teach for America. I hope you continue to have a great experience